this book is about hope. And at the intro, he talks about, he asks you, do you feel unhappy and with your current situation, but you always look at the future in a way that you think everything is gonna get better and it's gonna improve. And if the answer is yes, that is hope, and that's what drives you to do what you're doing, and that's the thing that gives you energy every day to get up and work toward your goal. And if you didn't have hope, you would just sit and watch TV the whole day. In the first chapter, he talks about the uncomfortable truth, and that's what he says, as your life doesn't really matter that much. You may think that you can have an impact on everybody's life, but if you go a little bit farther and look at yourself and look at basically everybody, see how minimal your impact is, like in other people's lives and in the whole, like on the planet, it's almost nothing. So if you know that, and if you understand this, you won't kill yourself toward like finding something huge and doing something really big. On the second chapter, he talks about life's purpose. So he says you have to find your purpose of the life and work toward that goal, that purpose. In reality, we don't know what actually matters, and that's why we are always looking for life purpose. What we don't know what to hope for, so we don't have a direction. When we don't have a direction, we feel unhappy all the time. And if we accept our insignificance, and we know that we don't matter that much, then we feel much better, and we will have a better we will have a free mind, and we can work toward our goals and find a purpose, basically. He says that people look for pleasure just for the sake of pleasure. That's why when they get it, they find it empty, and they feel empty and not satisfied. In chapter 3, he says how to be hopeful. How to be hopeful. In order to be hopeful, we need to have something outside of ourselves to give value to it. So we have to have something valuable outside of ourselves. And to get that, we need 3 things. We need to feel in control. We have to believe that something is valuable, and also we have to be part of a community. The community that have the same feeling. So the community that values what we value. Because most of the time people feel depressed because they don't have something to value, or they don't feel part of a community because they're not clear on their values, so they can't find a community to feel like to feel the belonging, like they don't feel belong to any community. And if we value something, it makes the effort worth it and enjoyable. In chapter 4, he talks about self-control, and he says self-control is an illusion. So basically, he talks about 2 parts of brain: feeling brain and thinking brain. We always learn that you have to think, and if the thinking brain approves something, that's true, and we have to go toward that part. But the reality is we are in control by our feelings, by our emotions. So when we can be successful and happy, is that these two parts, the thinking brain and the feeling brain, are working towards the same goal and working together, and basically they are attached together, they are in same understanding. And to do that, we need to give meaning to things that we feel good. So if you're doing something, or if you think something feels good, you have to find a meaning in that and attach that meaning to that act or whatever it is. And then your thinking brain, which is always looking for meanings for things, will follow your feeling brain, and then you feel happy because what you're doing that makes you happy is now approved with your thinking brain. So that's chapter 4. And chapter 5, he talks about Newton's laws of emotions. So for every action, there is an equal and opposite emotional reaction. And the second law, he says, is our self-worth equals our sum of our emotions over time. And law 3 is that your identity stays the same until a new experience acts against it. So I'm going to explain all 3 together. So for the feelings, so what you feel, so if something good happens, you feel happy. If it's something out of your control happens, you feel sad. If something painful happens to you and you feel the pain, and this is like common, it happens over time during your lifetime, there will be a time that you look back and you feel like you deserve the pain, and that's what's scary. So for example, if you get hurt by a boyfriend or something, or even several boyfriends, like during your life, and they always hurt you, after a while your mind will tell you that you deserve the pain, you deserve to get hurt. And then if something good happens and there is a boy that is actually really good and you don't get hurt by him, unfortunately you feel that something is wrong. You feel that you deserve the pain and something should be wrong because it's not happening with this one. In order to change this, you have to change your experiences. You have to look at your previous experiences and give them a different meaning, and also experience something new and replace this new one with the old one. So you have to get to the point that your mind doesn't look for pain, for example, that doesn't look for something bad and doesn't feel like you deserve it. Some people, so I guess actually, yeah, I can explain this here. So, like some people feel that they are very worthy of stuff, or they feel they are very valuable and they feel so good about themselves. That is also an illusion, because their past experiences gave them this illusion. So for example, their parents or whatever happens in their lifetime gave them this wrong understanding, this illusion that they worth it, they are successful, they are powerful or whatever. And also the other side of it is that some people feel that they are not confident, or they deserve to be like here instead of here, but all of these are illusion. So why not, if all of these are illusion, why not creating this for you? Why staying here? So how can we get here? How can we do this? It's by changing our experiences. So in Tony Robbins event, actually on the UPW event on day 3, that's what he does. So he tells you to think about your limiting beliefs, and then look at your future in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Where does it get you? Like, really, like, you see it and always it's bad, because if you have limiting beliefs, you won't grow, you won't get better as much as you can, like you could. So you see this, and then you feel it with your, like, whole body. You feel it like with a lot of intensity. So then he changes it to like, changes as your limiting, makes you change your limiting beliefs to something else. What if you didn't have that limiting belief? What if you had something else? Then you think about this one and look at your future in 10, 20, or 30 years, and how or where does it get you. So you see how beautiful the other one is, how your life or your future can be different, and how even other people around you will change and will be happier, and everything is much better if you don't have your limiting beliefs. So, and then he makes you feel it with your whole body, so it becomes an experience in you. When that becomes an experience and you feel it, it changes, it wipes down the whole wrong limiting beliefs, and replace it with this new one. So you have to always, you don't need to go to Tony Robbins event to do this. You have to just think about it, and also use any opportunity to give whatever pain happens, give them a meaning, and change your experience from that pain and suffering. Actually, that's chapter 6. He talks about feelings. He says the world runs on feelings. And then he says that people spend lots of money on things that makes them happy. And that's why industries spend a lot of time to either replace pain with another pain, or divert your pain to another direction, or what do you call it, like upgrade your pain. So the problem is, if this diversion, if that dominates our life, that would be a problem for us. So instead of that, we have to understand that pain is part of our life. Pain and suffering has to happen. It's fine. We just need to look at it in a different way, and give it a meaning, and understand that we shouldn't try so hard to get rid of pain. But with pain, we can gain something good. So always give the pain meaning, and work toward it. Work toward using that meaning in making and building something that makes you feel happy. On chapter 7, he says, love without expecting anything in return. So we always think about, if I do this, I'll get a promotion, I'll get a raise, or I'll get something from that person. Like, if I do if I do something to a person, he or she will do something for me in return. But most of the time, this is not going to happen. And if you expect something, you feel depressed, and you feel unhappy because of that, because you didn't get what you think you deserve. So instead of that, you'll be happier if you just do something because it's a good thing, because it makes you happy. And also Tony says, replace your expectations with appreciation, and your whole life will change. So if you just think about what you appreciate, what you, even like this opportunity that you have to be able to help other people, if you feel grateful because of that, your life will change. When you stop seeking other people's approval or appreciation, and when you stop expecting, you feel much better, and you feel happiness. It's obvious, I guess. So, chapter 8. He says, don't hope to be better, just be better. And the only way to have a better life is just to live it. If you just live happy, you'll be happy. Don't seek something. Just leave it. Just enjoy whatever you have. And going back to what I said before, a life doesn't matter to everybody. Like, doesn't matter in the big picture. So just leave it the way that it is. Just enjoy whatever it is and do whatever you can. Love as much as you can, and then you will see everything changes. Like, if you do that, you feel much better, you feel in control, you feel happy, and that's actually when that your life really matters. Don't expect it, just do it and you feel good. And he says we can change our lives in 2 ways. We can reinterpret our past experiences, as I explained before, and also the other way is to imagine a better future. And that better future means the future that we want it to be. Whatever future we like to have, just imagine that happens. And that was it. So chapter 9 is conclusion. To be happy and grow, we need to focus on non-transactional things that money cannot buy, and those are always the most important things, like a happy life, healthy relationship, meaningful work. None of these are transactional, so money cannot buy any of these. And these will lead us to emotional happiness. Let me see what else I need to tell you. So regardless of our past, we need to work on getting better. We need to find areas in our life that we want to improve and work toward improving them. We should understand what true freedom is, and true freedom is not getting everything we want, but it's self-control and self-limitation. And I explained the self-control and how you can do that. And don't forget that pain is truly a part of life, and through pain we can be transformed. That was it. So hopefully this was good. Sorry for whatever happened in between. This is my first book summary, and I hope you liked it, and I'll try my best to do more in the future. This took me a lot of time, by the way. It doesn't look like it, but seriously, I practiced this and wrote it down I don't know, for hours. Have a good day. Live happily. Bye.